And what I'm going to present in this conversation with you is some of the evidence that I have that buttress this claim. What is interesting is that Pakistan could make a security claim. It could say that what's now the line of control separating the two parts of Kashmir should be perhaps reconsidered for tactical defensibility, because basically when this line was made, it wasn't with consideration of the ridgeline. And for those of you who know this topography, it's in the Himalayas, so some of the points of the LOC may not make the most defensive sense. It should be perhaps following the ridgeline. They could even make an argument about water, right? Because South Asia is having an enormous problem with water scarcity. The Green Revolution had many benefits, but one of the downsides was salination of the land. And of course, water overuse and misuse is rampant. But in all of the 6 decades of Pakistan military journals that I reviewed, not a single article made a security case for Kashmir. By not a single argument, I mean zero. Absolutely zero. And to me, this is remarkable, because if there's any logic for Pakistan not being an ideological state, they should have some understanding of security issues around the territory that they're disputing. But instead, when they talk about Kashmir, they talk about the two-nation theory, they talk about partition not being complete, they talk about the ideology of Pakistan. And if you listen to any army chief speech, every army chief has said it. The most recent one, Raheel Sharif has said this. They refer to Kashmir as the jugular vein of Pakistan. It is not the jugular vein of Pakistan. Absolutely, it is not the jugular vein of Pakistan. But this is the narrative that they promote. And the implication is that if I'm right, and that Pakistan's an ideological state and not a security-seeking state, everything that we have done is essentially we've been throwing ghee onto a fire, right? And if we want Pakistan to behave differently, we have to think very differently about Pakistan. I can't speak to EU, because EU has a very different relationship with Pakistan than we do. I think the EU and the individual European countries that comprise it have different notions of self. But Americans are obsessed with this idea that we can transform countries. We love this idea that with some amount of US aid, we can transform a problematic state. We love it. And why do we love it? Because we can buy our way out of it, right? When you have a relatively rich country, that's a very preferred narrative, that all you have to do is buy your way out of it. And we can't buy our way out of the Pakistan problem. That's fundamentally the argument that I advance in this book. And what I'll say, to sort of give you an amuse-bouche of where I'm gonna conclude with, even if by taking Pakistan off the methadone drip, we may not change Pakistan's behavior, but at least we are depriving them of the resources that they rely upon to engage in nuclear proliferation in the expansion of this jihadi project. So we may not change their behavior, but at least we are no longer morally culpable for the things that they do that are so egregious and dangerous, and which cause the death of tens of thousands of people in South Asia every decade.